Let's compare some Fresnels today. Fresnels are lenses that go on the front of lights that intensify the light more than a reflector and create more of a narrow spotlight beam. All right, here's the original Aputure 2X Fresnel. I'm going to put it on a light here, and this is a 9-foot distance, which is about 3 meters. That's the wide setting. This is the widest that it goes. It's about 36 inches, which is 3 feet / 1 meter, and it's reading 4.08. This is the spot setting. It's about 30 inches and from 4.08 to 5.63, which is half a stop more. All right, so that was the original Aputure 2X Fresnel, and it's got like these grooves on the glass, which is typical Fresnel. And now we're going to do the new Amaran Fresnel. Look how much bigger it is. This monster is meant for the Amaran Ray 360 and 660, but it'll fit on anything that's Bowens mounted, as I'm demonstrating here today for your viewing pleasure. It's considerably heavier and bigger, so let's see if it is really worth the size and weight difference. All right, so here's the wide setting, and it is definitely wide. This thing is 7 feet, 4 feet more. 2.07, so it's considerably dimmer, obviously, because it's spreading the light out wider. All right, let's see what happens when we turn this thing, shall we? Let's turn it to the full position of spotlight. It's about 3 feet. So at its most narrow spotlight position is the same as the Aputure at its widest setting. This is the big moment here. 5.69, almost f8. So that means this thing puts out more light than the other one. This is a more professional Fresnel. It is meant to more mimic the professional HMIs of giving you a actual parallel beam sunlight kind of vibe, to really be closer to what sunlight would look like. And it's pretty darn bright. So this one at its brightest is half a stop more than the other one at its brightest. Look at the size of that thing. It's pretty darn big. Now this is a SmallRig light, as you've probably seen by now, and SmallRig makes a Fresnel also. And this one is kind of interesting, the RAF150. This one has the grooved front glass. It has a knob U-turn, which is kind of cool, and it has a passive fan on top, so when it gets really hot, this thing starts turning on its own. So it's got a little built-in fan on there, which is kind of cool. But this thing is heavier than the original Aputure 2X. The Aputure 2X, you turn by turning this thing like that. The SmallRig, you turn by turning the knob on top or the side, so a little different. Kind of cool. I like that. Look at the size of this thing. Unbelievable. Okay. All right, so here's the SmallRig Fresnel on the SmallRig light. At its widest setting, it is 3 feet. So just like the Aputure 2X, 4.05. So it's actually a little bit dimmer than the Aputure. Let's put it on its spotlight. Now, this is interesting because this one makes a really smaller, more concentrated spot. So if you want a small spot, this is the one to get for that. Look at how tiny that spot is there. It's a little over a foot, so it's 13 inches. So that's 3 times smaller than its widest setting, 5.67. So at its smallest, brightest setting, the SmallRig RAF150 is almost as bright as the Amaran, the giant one, but the spot is 3 times smaller. You can make a really small spot with this, which is really good sometimes because you want to be able to make a small concentrated spot, just to light up someone's face and nothing else. I like that. It's considerably smaller, considerably lighter, and it's fun to use. Like even this one, you have to turn it like this, just like the Aputure to make it go out. This one, you just turn a little knob and it goes out. So I really like that. So the SmallRig gives you a 3 foot wide to a 1 foot narrow at 9 feet. This one gives you a really good range too. This gives you like super wide, but not very bright, but it gives you super wide all the way down to 3 feet. So this one at its narrowest is the same as the other two at their widest. So it depends what it is you want to use it for. I'm not too crazy about this. It's okay for simulating sunlight, I guess, but I don't like big, I don't like heavy. So I'm gonna give these away. Yeah, Amaran Fresnel, a bit too big and heavy for me. I like the smaller, more fun ones. That's just me. Yep. Like, I love being able to just have a small little beam just to light up someone's face. Or you could light up someone's, upper body, which is really cool too. So I like the SmallRig RA-F150 and the original Aputure 2X, the one that's been around forever. This is the most lightweight one of the bunch. I don't take them on trips with me because they are kind of heavy and clunky, but for studio work, pretty good. I like that. The Aputure 2X is $96, the SmallRig is $119, and the big giant Amaran Ray Fresnel is $129. Amaran also makes a smaller mini Fresnel for the Ray 60 and 120 for $59. I don't have one of those, but it looks really similar to the Aputure 2X. I hope this helped a little bit. Okay, well, there you go. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.